What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome to a new project on the channel entitled, as you can quite plainly read, at least I hope you guys can read, Jak and Daxter, the Precusor Legacy. And full disclaimer, this is one of, if not my number one favorite platformer of all time. And as we go through this, I hope I can demonstrate to you why. Anyway, let's just jump into it. We're going to start a new game. Let's go ahead and overwrite this file. Yep, it's going to overwrite it, and let's go from there.
I have spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our planet? How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world? What was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samus the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of green eco, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jak, old green stuff told us not to come here.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly. The sage yaps on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crud? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? I think we're in trouble! Man, that stung! I told you we shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What? Okay. I'm fine.
What in green tarnation do you two want?
I was...
Don't tell me. Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right, and then...
And, Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because in my professional opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
What?
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Carl Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far, far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the 3 sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other way north is by foot through the Fire Canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal. You can't just walk through it.
But you could fly over it, if you had a zoomer equipped with a heat shield. I just happen to be working on such a thing at this very moment. All I would need is 20 power cells to give it enough energy to withstand the canyon's heat. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half going to get 20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave adventurer at least.
Brave adventurer? You two couldn't find your way out of the village without training. Before you do anything else, you better go through the warp gate and get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? 'Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
I love this game so much. Before we do anything else, let me show you what you're going to be using to help you through this adventure. You hit the start button here, and you'll see a list of things that you're going to be collecting: precursor orbs, power cells, and another little thing that we will get to in a second. If you hit circle, you go to your options. In your options, you have your game options, you know, player hands, language, English, that kind of stuff. Go back at your graphic options, you know, center screen, aspect ratio, that kind of stuff. Like if I go into here and went to 16:9 or 4:3, you can change that around. Center, you can do that like this. And in the sound options, you know, you can do all this stuff. Speech volume, you know, you do. Nope. So unfortunately, one of the things is that all your buttons kind of hit select. So yeah. This screen will be your best friend throughout this game, because as you're about to find out, Jak and Daxter, it's a collectathon.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest.
So yeah, and this tutorial level will actually tell you how to get.
These floating egg-shaped things are precursor orbs. Collect enough of them, and some of the villagers will give you a power cell in exchange.
So yeah, this whole section actually does a very good job at introducing you to the central mechanics of the game. So as long as you pay attention and get through it and get to the end, you should know exactly what you're doing and how to do it, no problem. Now, wham, wham, catching these hands.
The most important precursor artifact you can find. You need to collect 20 of these so I can power the heat shield for your A-Grab zoomer.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. This, got double jump, this, and spin kick, and boom. Every time you get a power cell, you will always get, it will automatically save your game, and you'll get the little dance sequence. I believe they're all randomized. I think I don't know how many there actually are, but they are all randomized.
You found one of my scout flyers. I sent 7 of them to each area to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all.
So yeah.
Sometimes you'll want to hit things with a greater force. To break one of these boxes, you should jump in the air and then dive down onto it, hands first.
So yeah, that's our last collectible is Kira Scout Flies. Now, I call this game a collectathon because it's a lot in the vein of Banjo-Kazooie. You find enough of you get lots of stuff to find. You find enough of it, you get some special items. You find enough Scout Flies, which in this instance, if you go into here, you find enough Scout Flies, which is 7. You have to find 7 Scout Flies in each area. You will then there's me doing this stupid again. You will then get a power cell. You're gonna want to do this to get 100% completion. It's not that hard to do, but it's very easy to miss. Thankfully,
Wow! That last Scout Fly had a power cell. I'll bet if you collect all 7 in each area, you can find even more power cells.
That's Blue Eco, which contains the energy of motion. Blue Eco allows you to run fast, break boxes, and even activate some precursor artifacts when you get near them.
And essentially, we'll get to that, but essentially, think of this game a lot like a better Banjo-Kazooie, in which you don't have to collect nearly as much obnoxious stuff, and they're pretty much all lined up for you along the way. You have to go out of your way for some of them, but for the most part, you should be fine. Blue Eco is essentially going to be your best friend in this collectathon, because how it works is that
Notice how each Blue Eco cluster you pick up increases the time you can use its power.
Because how it works is quite simple. While you have Blue Eco on you, you move faster and you attract things to you. So
This is a precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling Blue Eco through your body.
thank you, Samos. So you find a Blue Eco vent and you're in an area full of like precursor orbs.
That's a Blue Eco vent. More concentrated than the floating clusters. This vent will give you a full charge of Blue Eco, letting you use it for the maximum time.
So yeah, if you're in an area full of like blue orbs or boxes and whatnot, I recommend grabbing it and just running as fast as you can, because it is a blast just barreling through boxes. And as you can tell in the bottom right corner, that is your timer. Whenever you pick up Eco, that tells you how long you can use it. Blue Eco also powers up doors and other items and other precursor precursor structures. So if you get to a point where you can't really get somewhere,
The Blue Eco caused the door to open. With Blue Eco, you can breathe energy into all kinds of precursor artifacts that have lain dormant for years.
there you go. And yeah, so you grab it and go, and you should be fine.
Those little green balls of energy on the ground are a type of Eco. Pick up 50 small green Ecos or one big green one to increase your health.
Yeah, I was going to say that in a second, actually, Samos. But yeah, just remember to always, if you're in the area of Blue Eco, I recommend just grabbing it just for the fun of it. And there are other Ecos in the game that will do other special effects as we get to them. Green Eco is your basic health, which is what Samos is a sage of. You collect 50 of these, and you get an extra life at the end. So you eventually get 4 hits instead of the basic 3 you start off with. But you can collect one.
Jump once, then jump again in the air to reach even higher ledges.
There you go. So yeah, you get one big clump of green Eco, and you automatically get that extra 50. So it's like you can go and collect small ones, or you get one big clump, and you get enough green Eco to last you the whole game. So you should never worry about having to run out of green Eco, or ever have to worry about having to scavenge for it. You should be fine. And there's that. Another thing I should also mention: while you don't necessarily get a power cell for precursor orbs, getting precursor orbs is necessary to get power cells, because you will have to end up because to get 100% in the game, you will need most if not all of the precursor orbs, which look like little eggs. Oh crap! I almost missed the fight there. I usually always miss that fight. But you will need almost all precursor orbs to get every single power cell. Almost. I think you can get it. I think you'll have a good couple hundred left over.
You found all of the power cells on the island. Come back to the warp gate so I can bring you back to the lab. Hurry up.
Already on the warp gate. So yeah. And to get 100%, you'll need to find 100 power cells. So keep that in mind as you're going through. Now then, now we finished the tutorial level, let's get on with it.
Good training, boys. But that's nothing compared to the challenges that lie ahead.
They're no problem. We got the moves, eh, Jack? We'd love to stay and chat, Big Green, but we're, itching to get on with our adventures.
Fine, fine. Adventure away, then. And while you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
And there we go. Off to our own adventure. You can talk to Samos wanting to get some flavor text. Well, you can talk to some of the to get flavor text. And if you note this little thing here, this is actually a reference to Crash Bandicoot, one of Naughty Dog's earlier titles. I forget what it's called, that's what it is.
Some brave adventurers you two are. Back already and without clearing my blocked eco-harvesters. They're on the far side of the beach, boys. Now, get moving!
So yeah, flavor text. That's one of the reasons why I do like this game over a lot of other platformers, especially Mario 64, because you get a lot of flavor text for seemingly minuscule things, and they do a good job of wrapping up like everything you do has some significance in the world, even if it's small. So one reason, it's I don't know, just gets bonus points from me in that regard. Now what? Is this our A-Grav Zoomer?
Hey, baby. What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
You don't know what you're missing.
Listen, if you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor pipeline hidden deep underground. Some of these pipes end in vents from which eco flows freely, and some have been capped off so that the eco is sealed back. There must be a way to turn the capped vents on. I traced part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there for some type of switch.
So I will let you know up front, I'm going to go for a 100% run of Jak and Daxter, which I've honestly never done, and that's only because I always got to the last area and missed one power cell. I'm not kidding. So hopefully this time around I won't miss that power cell. Hey, and a little roll. Use it to get around faster. I don't use it because I don't like that whole rolling around stuff. Now, what you want to do is you want to go into this village, look around, and chat.
Like scout flies are always in red boxes.
Nah, dip, Daxter. And just talk to everybody you see, and that should help out, and that should help you along your way. Hello there, Maya.
Don't tell me that you two have problems as well. First I hear of monster sightings near the village, and now this. See those gears up there, boys? See them? See how they're not moving? That means our village has no power. The eco beam coming from the jungle temple has been interrupted. And boys, everyone's too frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah. Oh, you're funny. Now look, if you two fix the eco beam, I'll give you a power cell. Oh, and another thing. If by any chance you're interested in making a contribution to my re-election campaign, I might be willing to part with yet another power cell. The minimum contribution is a very modest 90 precursor orbs.
So yeah, what I recommend doing when it comes to these 90 precursor orb characters is hold off on giving them the orbs until you've done the 3 essential areas of the game, which we will get to in the next one. I'm sorry I had to do it. Actually, you know what, let's talk to this guy first and then we'll cut it off. But a lot of the characters that you meet, they have usually 2 precursor orbs on you. One is you doing a task for them, and the second one is handing over 90 power cells, 90 precursor orbs. If you do things the way I show you, by the time you come back to collect your reward for the initial task, you will have your 90 power cells. Anyway, what do you want?
Well, hello there, my dear boy. You've caught me at a most inopportune moment. I was to set off on my journeys yesterday, but I seem to be a spot short on the old precursor orbs. I would have pledged my word that I had 90 of them, but I gather that your young friend, you know, the little annoying, miserably ugly one, might have just pilfered them as a sort of a spot of fun. Anyway, would you be kind enough to loan your dear old uncle 90 precursor orbs so he can get underway? I would offer you a power cell in return.
So yeah, there you go. Anyway, we will do that in the next one. I've been announcing. This is Jak and Daxter. This is Jak and Daxter, and we're just getting started. Catch you later.